So my name is Chris Wheeler. I'm the owner of Savage Eliquid from Irvine, California. Yeah, so we operate, like I said, in Irvine, California. As far as market share abroad, we do have a fair market share abroad, just with the TPD and everything. In my mind, it's kind of cleared the slate a little bit, you know? So like we're almost restarting in the European market. But as far as other continents without TPD, I would say for the past couple of years, we've had a good market share. I agree, the market is very crowded. And you know what? We started back in 2014, and since then there's been so many companies that popped up and started selling juice, started selling mods, you name it. I think the biggest thing that has really kept us ahead of the curve, so to speak, or made us different, is we continue to innovate. I was talking to a good friend a few months back, and we talked about a lot of companies from 2012, 2013, and the big thing is, he said, Chris, do you know what happened to dinosaurs? And I said, well, yeah, they went extinct. He said, well, they didn't adapt. And so that's our biggest thing, is when we hit a speed bump or we hit something to where the market's changing, we know how to pivot and pivot quickly. I'll be honest with you guys, back in 2015, it was a slow year. We had a moment, that make or break moment, I like to call it, where we're sitting in my office, and either we could have innovated or we could have stopped and said, you know what, I'm gonna sell my 30 mils for $15, $12 back then, and keep it at that. But no, we decided to change, rebrand, and since then it's been a huge success. That's a hard one. I mean, especially since we've done so many international shows. In Italy, people loved our Jackman, which is a coffee cake with strawberry icing. They loved our menthol flavor with kiwi, strawberry, fruits, and menthol. Here, a lot of people love the Quinn, which is a raspberry cookie with sugar. And then back in the United States, people love the candy flavors. Like we have an Underwood flavor, which is a blueberry Jolly Rancher, and a sea Underwood flavor, which is a pink hard candy with sour. It's just, each market is so unique and so different, it's hard to tell. I feel like we made a good range to basically accommodate each, what would you call it, each market, yeah, I guess is the best way to put it. Absolutely. I mean, even though the FDA came down with August 8th, the big August 8th, right? In different countries, we're continuing to release new flavors and new marketing too, because at the end of the day, and this is my opinion and tip to wholesalers, retailers, is what I found is each year I have to come out with something bigger and better, and each quarter I have to come out with something that's even better too, to keep myself relevant, keep myself in the market, and show that we're here to stay and here to keep innovating. I mean, it's tough to say. I have my hopes and dreams. What I can say is I like to plan out. I like to make goals, right? Because it's one thing to say you're going to do something in a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. So what I like to do is plan 5 years out and work backwards, and that's kind of what I did with the first 3 years being in the industry. You know, I wanted to be at $500,000 to $1 million gross a month, and I made it there. So in 5 years, I want to be one of the leading juice companies in the world, and not just have my brand, but what I've been doing is picking up other brands too that need a little bit of mentorship, a little bit of help. So I really look at myself not just as a distributor and a manufacturer, but somebody that can really help the marketplace grow, because in the US there's a big problem with just distributor after distributor opening up, and I want to help and see what I can do in that space to take back control of the market. Great question. Great question. And that's, I guess you could say, that's part of my vision. Is when I started back in 2014, the biggest issues that I heard, and I asked my customers, what is the biggest thing that we can work on to really help you guys? Because at the end of the day, if you're not moving and we're not giving you the resources you need, we're no good to you. And the biggest complaints back then were speedy shipping, marketing materials, and pretty much the value of the product. And I can say that our juice tastes, the quality is there. So for me, one-day shipping, free marketing kits, free marketing, and customer service, because I've heard of complaints where people email or call in and a week later they get a response. So for the most part, we're available 24 hours. You get free marketing, you get free samples, you get really whatever you need from us. And on top of that, I think the single biggest thing is, as the market's changing, our products from a year and a half ago might not be moving as well as our products from yesterday. And people have contacted us and said, look, Chris, I stopped moving our product because, you know, basic kiwi isn't it anymore. Now it's the kiwi with lime and this and that and the other thing, right? And we'll actually swap that out and help them, because we know if they're not moving, then there's no point in being in their shop. So I guess to answer your question in a specific manner is, whatever they need, we do our best to work with them to keep our product moving, and to also have customers come into the store for our product and for it to move itself. Another great question. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't agree with the FDA's regulation. I agree with more with the TPD to certain points. I think that the industry does need to be regulated to help. I mean, look, 'cause I don't want to buy juice that was made in someone's garage, right? So I do agree there needs to be some regulation. Do I agree it needs to be 10 ml bottles? No, I don't. But am I happy that there's a regulation which everybody has an opportunity to go through and have a product that has been tested and has proper warnings and the whole 9 yards? Of course, I'm all for TPD, but I think there's a couple of things in my mind that I would have done a little bit differently. So we're a couple hours in. My hopes here is to really talk to consumers, get my juice into their hands, just like any other show. Let them know who we are if they don't know who we are already, and sit down with a couple distributors and try to work out a deal. And also answer questions that shops have if they were to go to said distributor, and what kind of service they can expect from us. Because I feel like if we can get the distributor on board on how we represent our product out here, and if the shops know what to expect, I think that we'll be set up for success.